Right, well, Gaffer, obviously a very good win on Tuesday night, back to league action on Saturday, looking for that first win in 2020. Is there still a bit of a high about the place?
Yeah, I think look, Tuesday was good. It was good for the players who came into the team. There's a couple of players that played on the previous Saturday that felt needed to play again, and they put in a good performance that won the game, deservedly so. So, like I said after the game on Tuesday, there's never a negative from winning games of football, but we understand that our bread and butter and our biggest focus this year is the league, and we feel that we've let ourselves down a little bit in the last two league games, as in terms of result. The performance weren't that bad, certainly in the game at home against Walsall in the second half, but we've been a little bit soft at both ends in both of the games, and the game is about scoring goals and keeping clean sheets, and unfortunately that's hurt us in the last two games, and it was a missed opportunity to close that gap, but there's still plenty of games and plenty of points to play for to get that opportunity again. So that's what we've got to work towards, and we can only do that by getting a positive result on Saturday.
Northampton coming in quite good form, obviously their win against Burton last weekend. They won the reverse there. Things you picked out, lessons learned from playing against them.
I think the thing for me, when you look at the majority of the games, apart from maybe 2 or 3 games in around October time, they've all been really tight affairs and fine margins each week. A goal dropping for you or going, the case in point, the Grimsby game, we hit the post, 2 minutes later they get the winner. No, these are the fine lines that happen every week, and I don't, there's fine margins between the majority of the teams. It's about being consistent with our performances, about consistency with creating chances, but you've got to keep clean sheets and be defensively strong. You've got to do all the basics well for me if you want to be at the top end, and I don't think there's a massive difference between the majority of the teams as in quality, but there's a difference in the consistency of seeing that quality and producing that quality. So that for me is the ones that are at the top have produced that quality more consistently. The ones in the middle can do with improving that consistency, and that's where we are. So we have to start to put a run of I wouldn't say performances, because I think the performances have generally been quite good for the last 5-6 weeks at least, but certainly in results and just doing the basics well to get those results. They're not always pretty games, certainly at this period of the year, with the weather and the condition of the pitches, but if you do the basics well, you give you the best chance of, if you have quality or you produce a bit of quality, it's going to win you the game, and that's what we have to do from now to the end of the season.
We're in January, and obviously it's a chance, as you said before, to improve the squad if possible, and we'll start off Tom Elliott coming in from Millwall, big striker and hoping to make a big impact. Yeah,
it's something that we haven't scored enough goals this season. Certainly I feel the chances we've created in certain games, some games not so much, but in other games I don't think we've took full value of the opportunities we've had. I think we need a player of Tom's qualities. He's got vast experience, played across the lower divisions and played in successful teams, brings a physicality to the front line. I think he'll help the other forward players that we have in the club already. It's not so much to replace certain people, it's more to enhance their performances and end product. And we've spoke to quite a few people about him and his character and everything, and we feel that all the things that he can bring are what we're looking for. So he's had a stunted season through injury at his previous club, and but he's desperate to get going and make up for lost time. So we feel he can add great value to our team from now to the end of the season and obviously beyond. But we just got to assess where he is physically, because he hasn't played games this season. but we feel when we get him up and running that we'll have a real good centre forward on our hands.
And then going the other way, a few lads gone out on loan and Tom's joined Stockport. What's your thinking behind the lads who gone out on loan first and foremost? Pidge, Shelts, Dev?
Yeah, well, if we start with Tom's gone to Fylde, and on a permanent deal. He's been out on loan already. He's had a few clubs at that level, asking about him. We're looking to add players to what we already have, and we just felt that, and after speaking to Tom, felt it was the right opportunity for him to go and play regular football and set up home there at a club. So we wish him all the best. The other guys, going out on loan, Dev's obviously already been out on loan for a portion of this season, so we expect him to go on and continue his good form. Shelts has gone out to Hartlepool, scored the winner the other night, so delighted with his progress. And obviously Pidge, it was a difficult one with Pidge. I've had some great conversations with Pidge over the last 3-4 weeks where he's come to me, obviously frustrated not being in the team, but an absolute brilliant pro around the place and ready to play at any moment. But he spoke to me a few weeks back about the possibility of going out on loan if he had the opportunity in January, if things hadn't changed in the team. And I said, well, we'll just have that conversation when January comes around, because he could be in the team by then. But obviously that wasn't the case. Obviously a couple of clubs have come in for him, and Carl came to see me and asked me if it was, if the opportunity to go and play football would be good for him, and what I thought, and I agreed. I think I'm so pleased that he's gone out to a Football League club. I think that I wouldn't have let him go out to a national club, because I feel he wants to be a league player, he wants to progress and establish himself as a league player. So I wouldn't have been letting him go. He didn't want to go to a club like that. We had obviously loads of inquiries, as you'd expect for a player of Pidge's qualities, but I think this suits everybody. I think it gets Pidge regular football in League Two. I think I'd love to still have him in the squad, but I'd be very selfish from our perspective if I'd kept him here with no promise of first team football for the next 3-4 months. I could see, without Pidge disrupting anything, because he's an absolute top man, I could see a little bit of a dampening in his enthusiasm around match days, and that's understandably so, because he's always been a regular. And so I think it'll do wonders for him. And when he comes back in the summer, hopefully we've got a player who's played 30-odd Football League games and raring to go again, because people like Pidge don't come along too often.
Just finally, a bit reactive at lunchtime. We saw the Leasing.com Trophy quarter-final draw and Accrington at home. So first off, it's another home tie. You happy with that? Yeah,
I think look, it's when you get to the latter parts of this competition, now it's open up nationwide. You could go anywhere. So to be at home is a major positive for us. I think with the congested fixture list anyway, certainly. In January with these cup games, but we feel it's good for the squad to have these games anyway. But listen, we know it'll be a tough game. Accrington are a real good team, a very experienced manager. So we know what we'll be up against when it comes round. But it's on the back burner for the next couple of weeks. But we look forward to a tie when it comes round, and hopefully we can continue our good run in that competition. But for now, we have to focus on the game in front of us. That's Northampton on Saturday, and we've got to give it our best shot to win the game.